Inside this box, directly from Japan, is a brand new, updated version of the PS5. What, you might ask, is in a brand new updated version of the PS5 that I definitely spent a lot of money to have overnighted to California? We're about to find out. All I know is that due to some Japanese regulatory filings, very exciting, I know, this PS5 is supposedly a third of a kilo, or about a little over half a pound lighter than the existing PS5 Digital. There's also some talk that it might have a different Wi-Fi card, the screw is different. This PS5 is currently on sale in Japan and I believe Australia, but my assumption is that this is the first revision of the PS5 that will probably be sold everywhere pretty shortly. Is there tape? No, it's not tape.
It's green. It's green. It's literally green.
I'm colorblind.
No, I think you're just blind.
That's 100% true statement. Ask my wife.
Yeah, I could. I didn't have to tell her that one. So,
I love you, honey.
So not only are you down over $1,000, but you're sleeping on the couch tonight.
It's subtle, but the existing model is the 1015B, whereas the new model is the 1100B. Why is it lighter? Is it less quality? Did they take out some stuff? It actually does feel a little lighter. I don't think I'm actually lunatic. Try it. Here's one. I'm not gonna tell you which one that is. That's the Japanese one. See? So first of all, we have the original digital edition, which comes in at 30,828 grams. And 3542.
Wow.
300 grams lighter.
Riveting content.
Look!
It's lighter. Good job.
Here's the question. Why is it lighter? It at least means that I'm not crazy for making this video.
Well, let's not go that far.
You can't see right now. I have a whole array of testing equipment underneath the
this dude's a lunatic.
I want to know what's new with the PS5! Thanks. This is the original standard. This is something I do know is updated. Okay, that's kind of hard. I probably would want to use a screwdriver. You know what? I'm actually totally, not kidding. That is way easier to do with my fingers. Now that we have a new and improved, slightly easier stand, why don't we fire these up and see if there's any actual physical difference that we can notice with the hardware. How riveting is this content? How excited are you to have already subscribed to the channel and ring-a-ling the ding-a-ling bell for high quality technical analysis that you certainly can't get anywhere else on the internet?
Look, Mom said we had Digital Foundry at home. We got Digital Foundry at home.
Welcome to the PS5 head-to-head. On my left side is the original launch model of the PS5 Digital, the 10 series, if you will. Whereas on my right side is the brand new 11 series Digital. Let's start out by taking a listen and a little probe with my sound meter of how loud the original PS5 is. 43.5 decibels, okay? 42.1. Very small difference. It's very subtle though, and I can tell you very confidently that if you're more than a few feet away from either of these, this one might technically be a little bit quieter. It's not something you're gonna notice. So this is a Seek thermal camera. Now I have more fun goodies like a infrared thermometer, but I'm gonna actually use this because this will give us a good sense for what it looks like in terms of the actual temperature of the models. Coming straight through the back, we have 51, 52 degrees, okay? So now let's take a look at the new one and see where we're at here. 55, 56. So this one's actually somewhat warmer. A 3 or 4 degree difference isn't huge, but that actually is something, especially you consider that the fans sound different. My hunch is that the difference between these two PS5s and the weight is that this has a different cooling assembly. The new one is running pretty consistently 3 to 5 degrees warmer than the old one. Celsius, yeah. So in Fahrenheit, that's probably 8, 9 degrees warmer. That's something that you would notice if you're having throttling issues with an existing PS5, if it doesn't have great airflow or something. The difference of 5 degrees Celsius, that might not seem exciting, but that is actually enough to cause some difference in either your performance or in just the longevity of the console if it's sitting there, because the exterior temperature is always significantly cooler than what the actual chip on the inside is running.
And right now we're in open air. This is not in a cabinet.
No, this is about the best case scenario of Austin being baked by PS5s. The next thing I want to try is how much power each of these are taking. Traditionally, when there are slim models, when there are upgrades to PlayStations or Xboxes, a lot of times they will tweak the chips and the actual power draw on the inside. I don't think there's a new chip in this, mostly just because this model is coming out less than a year after the PS5, but our handy dandy power meter doesn't lie. The old school original PS5 is sitting pretty consistently at about 225 watts. So that is the control. 228, 230, oh wow. So the thing with the PS5 that you need to consider is that unlike the Xbox, there is a variable boost frequency, right? So the PS5 will run the CPU and GPU as high as they can, but there's some variability there. If we're talking 3, 4, 5 watts, to me, that seems more margin of error of certain PS5s are just gonna boost slightly higher, or alternatively, certain silicon inside the PS5s may require slightly higher voltage to hit those same frequencies. So at this point, we've established that the new PS5 runs slightly quieter, but somewhat significantly hotter, and is ballpark the same as far as power goes. So let's start out by taking them apart in equal distances of time. Oh, look, is that
everybody.
Jimmy from PS Ready to help me take apart PlayStation? Wow, it's almost like we could have planned that to be a smoother transition. All right, here's the deal. Let's take them apart bit by bit. I've got the scale. We're gonna keep going until we get to the bottom of this and find out why they're lighter, what the Wi-Fi cards are, all that kind of stuff.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So the screw was different?
The screw is absolutely different.
Okay.
So
You got the new one though.
I have the new one, you've got the old one.
Wait, let me try it. I've been talking about it for a while.
You made like 8 videos on this screw.
Yeah. It is easier to do. Okay, all right.
It's a big difference. Okay, I got mine, mine.
Is it really that easy?
Well, look at the fan blades though. Are there, actually, you know, we'll
I
take
mean,
a
we'll be
closer
able to
look.
see if we take it apart.
Let's open up the SSD and see if there's anything different here. Wow. Hey, wait, that's different. That's a different shade.
It's lighter.
Yeah,
Wait,
it is lighter.
Can we get an enhance on this? Just do it. You're not gonna break it.
It just
See? Everyone made fun of me when I did it. Jimmy did it too.
Good thing this isn't mine.
No, the sad thing is I have an entire video on how to disassemble a PS5, but that was like last year and I've totally forgotten how I did it.
I didn't watch it.
Great. All right, wait. I don't have power tools. I gotta take this part
I
slowly.
was trying to get ahead a little bit so I could look like I know what I'm doing when you get done with your part.
Oh, the fans are different.
So they're sort of similar, but this one has much more curved blades. And you see it has this bottom bit, which actually is attached all the way around. There's just an empty gap on the inside of this one. So this one is a Delta Electronics fan, as is that. So it's the same manufacturer, which Delta makes a lot of fans for, I mean, tons of different things. Okay, so new fan on the scale, 257 grams.
Okay.
So grab the old one.
Exactly the same. Exactly the same.
The search continues for our 300 grams.
Oh,
Find something?
a sticker thing.
Jimmy, you smart man.
We definitely just missed a screw.
Yeah, we missed a screw. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh,
They're
you've got
different.
something. There's something.
This
yeah,
is copper colored.
Yes! We're not crazy.
This is bigger. What is
It's
this?
absolutely
Do you know
bigger.
what this is?
It's part of the heatsink. So a couple things I noticed. You see how the copper heatsink on the original one is much wider? Look how much extra space there is on this. So there's clearly something missing from this side. I also see, look, you have a black and a white wire for your Wi-Fi. I have a white and a blue.
Oh, so you do have a new Wi-Fi thing. You know what, this heating thing though, for a console that is coming off of 2 generations of consoles that had major heating problems, and one of the big issues reportedly with building this thing was heat, I don't love that the newer model has a smaller heatsink.
I mean, look how much extra space. There's a full finger of space, which is being completely wasted, which is not there. Also, you can see the PCB, right? It's very clearly light green versus darker green. Here, can you read me the serial number on that Wi-Fi? Let me do this, just because it's gonna be really hard to see on camera. I'm just gonna take photos of both of these and then we'll just put it in that cut. This, I am almost positive, unless it's the Bluetooth, but if this is the Wi-Fi, this looks identical. Oh wait, no, there's something else different. Look at this. I have a blue and a white that comes down, right?
Yeah.
You have a white and a black, and you also have another white and a black. So you have 4. So I would assume one of these is for Bluetooth and one of these are for Wi-Fi. Dude, this new PS5, this is I mean, I don't think there's any doubt here. This is a cost-reduced, lighter weight, less material. Like, the reason it's lighter is because they literally removed cooling.
It lines up too, because they just reported that they're finally not taking a loss on these things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's what we guessed in the videos where we talked about it. They're just using cheaper stuff.
Oh my God! I've got like half the heatsink!
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's like really different.
That's not even close. Wait. Set these down.
Dude,
Set these down.
that directly explains why the new one is so much hotter.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
You've got like a big chungus. I've got a little chungus now. You're making me feel like I need to compensate with my PS5. Look at how different that is.
That's crazy, dude.
Wow.
And they're different colors. Like, these are clearly just entirely different models of heatsink.
Absolutely.
Well, we know it's not as efficient because it runs hotter.
The fan sounds a little bit better, but that makes sense because this is, I believe, a slightly better fan. That does not compensate for the lack of, I mean, I'm gonna guess when we weigh these, 300 grams difference in heatsink.
Yeah, I don't want to like make any bold claims here, but that doesn't seem good.
No, there's no scenario in which this is good. Technically, if Sony is able to get usable, good performance out of this smaller, lighter heatsink, they save money and it should be okay. But we know that even with a very brief test, this one runs hotter, which makes sense because I'm sure the chip inside is the exact same. Look, you've got all this extra copper here.
Yeah.
They, I guess for the launch models, over-engineered the cooling
Which they should
needed.
have done because Sony, again, has had major problems with heat in their consoles.
I would guess what's happened is that Sony, now that they've got almost a year of PS5 data, they've spent more time testing everything, have determined that while, yes, this is going to run a little bit hotter, that's probably fine, that it won't negatively impact things that much.
I don't know, man. That doesn't seem wise, considering that the PS5, like you said, changes its wattage based on what's going on in the console.
So potentially long term, especially as you imagine this gets started to get caked in dust and whatnot, you've got less fins, less mass, you could actually lose performance.
But I wonder though, with everything being so expensive to produce right now, that this actually helps their bottom line compensate for the past
No,
year.
it 100% does because they just announced that they're making a profit on these things now instead of taking a loss. 16, 40, 39.
Okay, so that is the original Big Chungus heatsink, okay? Let's see where we're at on this one. So I'll flip it over the same way you did. I'll rest it gently on the scale. 1368.
Yeah.
That's it. They literally took out a very sizable amount of copper and aluminum heat fins.
Unlike the fans, you know which PS5 you have based on the model number. The fans are a total crapshoot. You might have one fan or might have the other, and the only way to tell is to take off the side plates, which is annoying. But now you have an easy way to know if your PS5 is gonna run hotter.
The only thing that we can't really determine is the difference in the Wi-Fi. There certainly is a difference, right? Because I only had 2 antennas and you had 4. So something has been simplified or changed. But unless we actually sit down and do like side-by-side Wi-Fi tests, the PS3 specifically was a console that when it came out, every different time they updated it, it got worse and worse and worse and worse.
Yes.
The very first update we've seen less than a year into the PS5, I don't think there's any argument that this is a worse console, at least for thermals and for the cooling. Maybe they've changed some Wi-Fi stuff. Maybe as we dig deeper into this, we'll find other weird quirks and features. But as far as I'm concerned, I would rather have a launch PS5
Especially
than the
if you're putting an SSD in your console, dude. Like,
Oh,
even if you have that heatsink,
yes.
that SSD is gonna get hot. And if this one has worse cooling, you're gonna have trouble with that SSD.
There you have it, friends. The PS5 is exposed. We've now determined the true root of all evils, which is about 300 grams of copper and aluminum heatsinks. Jimmy, thank you very much for joining. If you have not already, you should absolutely go subscribe to Jimmy's excellent PS Ready channel for minute-by-minute updates on the impending PlayStation crisis.